Well, hello everybody and welcome to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Jesse Showalter. Excuse me, almost coughed. Have a happy Friday. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday, everybody. We got Umacorn in the chat as well as Tomas. Wade Acuff is moderating. We got Megan. Everyone's talking about the Bluetooth barbecue that we're going to have today because we sure are going to have one of them. Let me know, what's your favorite barbecue food? Do you like to have a burger, a hot dog? Maybe you're a portobello mushroom slider kind of person. That's awesome too. Let me know down in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, come over to Behance. That's the chat we're talking about. That's what we are looking at. Let's jump over to my screen so you can take a look. I've hopefully fixed all technical issues that I've been having this week, and you can join us over at behance.net/challenge/XD. Wow, that's a tough one to say. Hit that big blue button to start your Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. We are on challenge number 4 today. Like we said, a little Bluetooth barbecue. We're gonna be designing a Bluetooth connected barbecue application where users can view the cooking status of their food. We're gonna be doing a couple of cool techniques, some fun animation, a very thematic application today. And you know what else is thematic? Chatting with me and the rest of the Adobe mentors over in the Adobe XD Discord server. Jump over there. There's like 36,000 plus creatives. We'd love to have you there. That's also where I'm going to be pulling some of this amazing work and reviewing it at the end of today's stream. Talking about amazing work, let's dive right in. Let's do some amazing work today. You have your starting file, which you can grab in the challenges tab here on Behance as you're watching this live, or maybe even watching one of the creative replays, creative encores that are going to happen later. We got some colors already picked out. All right, we have a few things. Here's our prompt, again designing that Bluetooth thing, and we have some inspirations. I liked this one because of the texture that's there. It looks very kind of cooktop, very kind of cool, and I like the dial and the gauge there. So with that being said, you can find a bunch of resources down here if you search a little bit, but I've actually prepared a few sources for you myself. You can actually tell our artboard has a little bit of a cast iron texture kind of on it already. We got some icons there and some text. Got a little timer that I've already pre-built, and we have some food, a cast iron skillet, and a circle that just might be our gauge. All right, our little meter for the day. So the idea being that you come into this application and you start a cook, and then it's going to tell you how long. And I want to see a ring move. I want to see some food kind of fill up from opaque to less opaque. I want some fun stuff. So we got some fun PNGs like Umacorn is saying in there. Let's get our main navigation going though really quickly. There's a lot of circles going, so let's keep that circular theme. I'm going to hit E for ellipse. I'm going to draw out a nice big circle here, and then I'm going to take the border off of it. I'm going to look for some of these dark kind of tones, and maybe we don't want to do it quite as dark as the background. Maybe we want to go just a little bit lighter. So let's center that, bring it down to the bottom, something like this. I like it. I'm going to hold down Option. I'm going to drag a new version out, and these are going to be spots to place my icon. So this time let's go a little bit on the darker side of things, and we'll close that up. That's looking kind of cool. Let's zoom in. We're just going to kind of lightly spread out 4 of these. So what I'll do is I'll actually just distribute 4 like so. And let's see, I'm going to get the other one on. I'm going to grab all 4 of my ellipses that I've made. I'm going to use my distribution tools to just kind of pop them in place there, okay? With that being done, I'm going to Command Y to go up to my layers. I'm going to grab these 2 and just put them on the dial. So everything has this fun kind of dial, kind of a circular look, and maybe it doesn't have to be rising above that much. That's cool. I like that. Let's take our 4 icons. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's make sure we lock our stone texture that we have in place so we don't manipulate it or mess with it at all. I'm going to bring my icons down and just pop these into place. So let's just make sure that all of them, I'm going to press Command and the right bracket key. And when I did that, you could see all of them moving up in my layers panel, just moving them on top. So just going to move my icons. Some important things to note and keep in mind when you're working with icons, just make sure that they all have a similar style. You don't want some to be filled, some to be empty. You want to keep a pretty consistent style throughout. Now that we've done that, we have some space. We can move our navigation up to the top. That's working just nicely. And we can ready, I just want everybody in their minds to make a sizzle sound as I put my food into my cast iron. That's right. We're gonna put our food inside of our pan, and let's bring that whole thing onto our artboard here. You know, I like it maybe going this way actually a little bit, so that the handle is actually drawing attention kind of downwards. Let's kind of just increase the size of this. I like the look of this so far. Now, what you might not have in your starting file that I do have, and before I talk about that, I'm gonna group all of these elements together. So let's get our nav BG there. We got all of our ellipses, all of our noun project icons where I gathered these things from. Now we have one big navigation that's looking pretty sweet. And why don't we just lock that, because we won't be playing with that anymore. What you might not have is this little timer setup that I've created, because I wanted to rush through and get some of the cooler stuff. But if we want our timer to be able to kind of move, we want the numbers to be actually able to tick. And so all I've done, and let me zoom in and give you a little view of what I've done, is I've created, I created a piece of text, right? Made the right size, color, everything, and just did a new line break, and then just put the numbers going vertically down. You can see all of those lined up over here. They're just 0 through 9, except for one of my second hands here. It only goes up to 5, right? Because that's how time works. And I've just placed them and spaced them vertically so that later on our time can move. And what I have going on is I just masked a shape over it like that. And then now the whole thing is contained within a nice little shape. We have our rectangle with this number here. That's actually our shape. And the whole thing is now being kind of framed out or masked, right? So we'll be able to see things ticking and moving without actually seeing all the excess above and below, which is pretty nice, okay? All right, so we know that we're going to have our little timer somewhere around here. We probably need a button just in case it's an emergency. We need to like stop the cook that's happening. So I'm just gonna hit R for rectangle and drag a button out, make sure it's spaced. I'm gonna grab the little corners here in my shapes, and when I drag them, I can create like a nice rounded button. You can do those individually on the corners if you want. I'm gonna keep it, I'm gonna keep it all unanimous all the way around. And why don't we just go to our color palette we have here. I'm gonna apply to border and then just increase the size of the border. Maybe something like 4. I think that works. And I'm just gonna borrow some text real quick. And I think this probably needs a little bit of text in this button. Most buttons do, I think, right? So let's do something like exit the cook. Love that. And we'll bring the typography of that to be a little bit more bright, and we'll even up the weight. So that's a little bit nicer there. We'll group that whole thing together, and we got ourselves a little button. Why don't we just name our layer button like that and hit Command and Control K to make a component out of it. Why? Because components are fun. I'm also just going to unlock my navigation that I have down here. And why don't we do one more piece of text in here? Let's drop it back down to something like regular. And this will say show more details. Show more details, right? That's, if we wanted to, maybe we could pull up and get some interesting interactions there. We're not gonna focus on that today, but it's there for us later if we wanted to experiment a little bit, okay? So let's drop this inside of, where do we have our navigation? It's this thing, nav. Let's put that there and drop it inside of there. Beautiful. And we'll lock that thing back up again. All right, so far so good. We got this beautiful little setup here. It's actually kind of fun. It's kind of nice. But now we're gonna do an animated pie chart. If you've ever asked yourself, how do I do this animated pie chart business inside of Adobe XD? I got you covered. We're gonna do it right now. I'm gonna actually bring this up onto my pan, and I'm just gonna size it. I'm holding down Shift and Option so that I am moving outwards from the center, okay? And I think the border is just, the stroke is a little too wide in my opinion. I like that. Okay, so now we have our nice timer there. How do we get it to fix, right? And actually be like a growing pie chart. I'm gonna introduce you to the border gap trick right now if you don't know it. So you can see, I'm just gonna actually scoot this over so we can kind of focus together, all right? Let's go back to my circle, and I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see it. Now, we have a fill on there. You can't really tell it's there, but we also have this fantastic border. That's what we're going to be manipulating right now. We have a size of 16 pixels for the width of that, or the stroke width. But what we want to do is take our gap all the way up to 1,000. I'm going to type 1,000 in there, press enter, and see what we have at the top? We just have a little tiny dash there, okay? So with that being done, now we can start messing with the dash. Perfect. That's where we start at the top. And by raising the dash number, it's going to, as we just run the number up, it's going to trace it around. It's actually kind of similar to Adobe After Effects if you've ever played with After Effects, okay? And you can keep messing with the gap a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit more, a little bit less, but 1,000 seems to always work for me. Okay, so I'm gonna move my, yeah, perfect, just like that. There's my dash, it's at 8 and gap at 1,000. Now we have the start. Let's say we're just picking up our device and looking at it at 1:59. We're gonna do 5-second increments, not all the way down to 0, but just for a while to get that feel. But one more thing we wanna do is, I wanna see the food actually kind of come to life. So I'm gonna mask this actually. Let me see, I'm gonna get our food, okay? We have our, let's rename this to be food. You can see it there, beautiful. I'm gonna do another one right on top, okay? Again, there's our food. Let's hide our timer, our button, all of our fun things here. And this is gonna be called our gauge, our circle, our chart. We'll just call it chart for now, that's fine. Okay, so let's take food and skillet, okay? And let's just duplicate and have 2 foods right there. So let's work with the food really quick. I'm gonna mask this thing out. You guessed it. I'm gonna hit a R for rectangle, and I'm going to draw a mask, all right? And actually what we could do is let's do this off over to the side so you can see what we're working on here, all right? I'm gonna bring the shape here just a little bit, bring it in. No need for it to be so large. I'm going to bring it on top, and then I'm just going to select both items and say mask with shape. Okay. Then this one back over in my pan, I'm going to bring down and make it. Whoa, where are you at? Good. We had one in the pan somewhere. There it was. Good. Let's call it, that's called food. We want to bring the opacity of it down so it's barely visible in our pan. And then this one's the exact same size. We can manipulate the mask itself, and we want it to rise as the food is cooking, all right? So why don't we do that? We're just gonna, we'll start there, all right? We'll drag it back into our pan, and we will just kind of overlap them, all right? So now you should have your food one in the back, your opaque food in the back, and then your live or your active version here. And as it raises, you guessed it, you're gonna be able to see more and more of that food, okay? So let's just group those 2 things together and call this food, okay? Everything's looking good. Now let's do a new artboard over here. I'm going to drag a new instance of the artboard. Let's fast forward 5 seconds in our cook. All right. So we're counting down. Okay. So let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I've cleverly, a little tip for you when you're building a moving numbers gauge, I've cleverly lined up the size of my shape here so that I can catch the baseline or the top kind of like a sender of the numbers or letters. So now I know exactly where to line it up, and they don't end up all kind of like off and wonky. All right, so we've moved down about 4 seconds. Sorry, let's go 1 more. Beautiful, like that. We're gonna need to move our gauge forward, what we think is like, I don't know, maybe 4 seconds or 5 seconds. So let's do something like that. And then let's make our food rise a little bit, shall we? So we'll just grab our mask and move it forward. Beautiful. We'll see all of that move together in about 5 seconds. Let's do 1 or 2 more. Shouldn't be, we'll stitch them all together with timed prototype triggers. Be a lot of fun. So this one will go from 5, 4, 3, 2, and then we're gonna have to go all the way back up to 9, actually. Actually, you know what? We'll have to be very specific. This one's gonna run out here. And that's, so we're only gonna be able to do 3 seconds on that one. Then we'll do the spin to the top, and we'll keep going at 149, right? Okay, cool. Actually, it should go down to 0, like so. Beautiful. We're gonna bring a little bit more up there on our gauge and our meat, like so. Let's do 1 more and just see how it looks. We'll test our prototype. Okay, we'll duplicate another one. I'm just dragging out by holding Option, dragging another artboard. All right, and let's call this the final one. We'll take the food all the way to the top. We'll take our cook thing here and let's shoot it around really, really far just to have some fun. All right, and now this one can zoop all the way back up to 9. 8, 7, 6, I don't know, 5, something like this, and then this one can shoot down to 4. So you're going to see a lot of action on that one. We'd want to be a little bit more methodical about our timing, just so you know, but we're going to have some fun doing it, I'll tell you what. So let's go ahead and zoom in, or actually zoom out just a little bit. Let's go to our prototype tab up here in the top left-hand corner of Adobe XD, and we're not going to select any individual element. We want to do a time trigger based off of the artboard. So let's just make this the home, and we'll call this our cook. And we'll select the artboard and we will drag it over to our next artboard, right? And in our interaction type, we're going to say not tap, but time. Okay. We don't want to delay. Now you could do a delay. You could do a lot of fun things in Adobe XD with timed animations and delays, but none for us. We want it to go and then immediately keep going, right? We don't want to transition. We want that smooth auto animate. We want to head over to Bluetooth Food 1. And I'm going to do actually no easing. Right? It's going to be a very linear transition. And let's do 5 whole seconds here. Okay. 5 right now is the max that you can do inside of Adobe XD, but we can stitch them together. Can't we? That'll be a lot of fun. So let's stitch the next one. This one's only about 4 seconds. So let's do the same thing. Timed, no transition or no delay, excuse me, auto animate. And this one will be about 4 seconds. Okay. Yeah, good. We went 5 seconds, 4 seconds, and this one's going to go another 5 seconds. All right, so let's do this and we'll just drag that over like so. And again, no easing. We'll do another 5 seconds. All right, once we're there, let's do a tap trigger, shall we, to send it all the way back to the start so we can just keep playing with our prototype. Let's auto animate. We should see a lot of movement and stuff when we go back. But let's do that in a total of 1 second just for fun. And let's preview our prototype and see it immediately started without us even touching anything. I'll move it into the center. Beautiful. It's rising. It's doing the thing, right? We're cooking. Woo! There we go. Things are moving. Love it. And we get to the very end and we go all the way back and it's going to start again on its own. I love it. Look how smooth that little prototype is. Ah, so much fun, especially the food rising. I wish, oh, you know what I wish? I wish I had a barbecue or like a fire crackling noise that I could put in my prototype as a little extra something, right? So let's see it one more time just for fun. All the way down, really smooth. This is why I didn't like any of the easing, because I just wanted it to be really nice, smooth, linear. Although right here it does pick up pace, and that's okay. But we could have been a little bit more consistent about it, a little bit more methodical, and you could have done that on and on and on all the way down to 0 seconds until you got some sort of fun kind of animation. Do we have a little bit of time? We have a little bit of time. Let's do one more, and then let's see if we can build together like a little fun little animation, like maybe just a red overlay that says "cook done," like a little notification kind of thing. All right. So this time we'll do some serious fast forwarding, okay? All the way down to 0 seconds. Boy, we just entered a time portal, I think, right? Okay. Let's stop we don't want this to go all the way up. We do want that one to go all the way up. And then our gauge, let's finish it. It's gonna go all the way around. Bingo, just like that. And then once we get there, we are gonna want to do some sort of fun rectangle that is filled with our red color, and maybe we'll bring the opacity of it down. Okay, this will be like a fun congratulations, your cook is finished kind of thing, something like that. Okay, let's grab a little bit of typography here, and let's come over to our new victory status thing here, and let's bring up the size of the text. Okay, so we care about transparency here. Like, we're gonna want to make sure that it's not too visible, right? We want we still want our text to be the thing that really stands out. So let's do something nice and bold. Okay, your congratulations, congrats, like that. Your cook is done. Okay, let's make this just, yes, beautiful. We'll just bring that in slightly, and let's change the line height so it's not looking so strange. Love that. Okay, great. And let's just steal a logo really quick. Could we steal an icon, excuse me, if we can? That'll be fun. Let's just steal a little icon action and put it over the top. Something like that. Okay, we're gonna need to do a little bit more prototyping now. This one leads there. Beautiful. Let's lead this one over. Again, it's a time trigger, and it's gonna happen in 5 more seconds. Auto animating, doing the thing. And then here, as soon as we get here, we want a little delay, right? So we're gonna do another time transition, but let's do about a 1-second delay, and then it should auto animate over to our final one. And why don't we do, actually with this one, a little bit of snap, and this one will take about 0.4 seconds. Now the only thing that we have to do before we preview it is we need to bring all of our elements together for our alert, like that. We're gonna need to bring them in over here as well, okay? Stay with me. And then we'll bring this down, and then let's bring this all the way down, and then let's hide or turn the transparency on our overlay. So you should see the overlay fade up and the items move in. You should. We'll see if it works. See if we got it right. Press play. Okay. Just clear out of the way so you can see everything. It's ticking. It's going. It really hits that dynamite moment where the food starts cooking. It's going to keep cruising. Will it make it? It goes all the way to the top. It slows down a little bit. We should get a little delay, and success. Congrats. Your cook is done. That's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. I feel like I'm putting a lot of build up and emphasis into it, but it is a good time. Hey to Laura Steneva in the chat. What's up, Chris Olson, Umacorn Mia? We're making a fun Bluetooth grill application, and that's it. That's the whole deal. With that being said, why don't we kick over and review a little bit of work over here in the Discord. All right, so this one, let's see, we had our VPN from Masayu. Let's check it out. Let's go full screen with this beautiful design. Okay, we get a little prototype action, press and connect. Oh, I like that. A smooth little transition. The only critique or encouragement I might say, oh, that's fun. The 3D transition stuff's fun. Yes, yes, I love it. Love that. I would just say, watch out for those empty spots that are here, but the rest of this is on point. Dark interfaces are hard to do, and this is pretty well done. Congratulations. I dig it. This is yesterday's checkout interactions. Some fun kind of checkout experience. Okay, so we did like a little slider action. Yes. Doesn't have to slide. Sometimes it could just change images. Digging it. Do we have any form field actions or payment button actions? Nice. Wonderful. Oh, love that confirmation. Everything's a little big, a little fun, I dig it. I'm into it. All right. Here's another one. Let's go to Behance, open that one up. Let's look at this one a little bit more in depth. Who is this one by? This is by Mr. 22 PT. Let's check it out. All right. I like the color. Super love the color. I really hope that you take this to the next level and do some of those like pulsing kind of power buttons. This is really nice. I'd say the only thing I'd say is watch out for some of these darker select tabs. You probably want to keep those neutral so that the flag is the thing that does the talking and not the button itself. Okay, this is another one from, let me see, Zach Aberderazak. I can't say that name, but I tried. Give me points for trying. Nice. I like the switcher, super fun. And all the payment information on the left-hand side, super nice. Good component states for the buttons. The color's fun, right? Everything's kind of just vibrant and fun and interesting. I saw another really interesting one. Where did I see it? Oh man, it was up above, and I don't want to miss it because this one looked really spicy. Let's get in on Tomas's checkout experience. I like seeing, kind of doing some fade in, so the kind of share and with our client or maybe with the engineering team what it should look like. Are we hovering over products? Okay, that's fun and interesting. I like the payment approved kind of swipe across and the processing. Can I just zoom in on that? Because that was pretty pretty fun. This little interaction down here, loved that so much. I want to see more of that. Also beautiful kind of execution on the way that you displayed this. Really nice stuff. Really good work. Let's look at that one we opened up in Behance, and then we are just about done for the day. This is by Ilham Anugrah. Oh, man, I probably said that wrong too. But let's take a look at this piece of work here. Really nice stuff. Let's zoom in. Just design-wise, again, dark interfaces, hard to do, right? But the call to action, the CTA, this blue really pops, right? Even the notifications for your shopping cart kind of pop, really, really nice. It's really about shades of dark gray and black that make the whole thing work, and putting the camera and kind of casing it in this darker region, that really works too. You're kind of creating sections all around the work, which is really, really nice. Let's look and see if there was any sort of, oh, I love especially the filled in states. Can we see the, oh no, where's the filled in states? Go back. I don't want to miss those. Well, here's a prototype. I don't want to miss the prototype either. Can we go full screen with this? Yeah. Oh, go back, check it out. Yep. Got a little tilt on the camera when you rolled over it. That's fun. Not necessary, but totally fun. Great little dopamine rush. I like that your your tapped area, your active area, is really just putting the cursor there, and then we see the animation play out. That's smooth. Love that. And the little check mark saying that you filled that section in correctly. Really wonderfully done. Absolutely love this. Beautiful work, everybody. Fantastic job. I hope you had a fun time today designing our little Bluetooth barbecue application. Can't wait to see your submissions inside of Discord or on Behance. We'll be looking there for them tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next week. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this session of the XD Daily Creative Challenge. We will see you same time, same place next week.